Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to this game's tutorial. Today we fix a little bug at the very beginning and then we head over to creating this very menu here, the tower stats, and this is the result we get. So we've got all our stats in the game. That's the icon on the left being updated automatically whenever we do have icons. The gold cost, which is right here, the stats of, the level of the stats, and finally a level up button. Now I can't really show you level up because I don't have any money. Let's sell something, head over here. And let's buy this level. It updates up here and it updates down there. And guys, that is pretty much what we're gonna do today, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so as you see in the preview, today we are going to take care of doing the side, the one on the side here, the tower stats on the side, so this menu right here. But beforehand, as always, there's a little bug I'd like to fix. So you see how we click on this panel and open up this war table menu, and that's fine. If we click somewhere on here, nothing really happens. If we click outside, we go back. But now, if we actually click on a object, as you can tell, this object is right here, and it's a little bit overlapping on top of that panel, and that's fine. If we click like just about here, it does transfer us to the other screen and this panel doesn't close. That's obviously something that we don't want, because over here I am going to have a lot of stats and a lot of buttons to actually level up those stats, and you know, they might be here, 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 and here, and then you end up not leveling your thing and being sent over to this mess. So very simple fix again. We are going to open up the hub manager. It's like a one-line fix. So let's open up the hub manager, and it is over, well, not the game manager, the hub manager. Here it is. It is right about here. So in our update, we check if we click on the mouse, if we get the release of the left mouse button, and then at that one point we do the raycast check. But we do that raycast check even though we're already in the menu. Now we're going to constrain that. So just above this if statement, just above this if, I will do a if current hub object is equal to null. If it is equal to null, you can go ahead and just run this. And it's as simple as that. That's the fix right there. And we should be ready. Let's just test it out. Make sure everything is cool. And as you can tell, I'm clicking here, but nothing happens. If I head over to this menu, clicking here, nothing happens. Good, so we constrained that, and we are now ready to do the biggest part of the video. It is UI, so we're going to do a lot of UI again. Let's open up our hub, go under the UI root. We're going to turn off our war table by just turning off the alpha, and turn on the tower stats menu. So, this one is a little bit messy and complicated. I'm going to start by removing that text. We don't need it anymore. I'll also move it a little bit downward so we can have a good look at it. And here's what we're going to do. I am going to start by creating a new UI text, or UI panel. And this panel is something I'll anchor at the very top. So I always want this to be at the very top, and also expand it on the horizontal axis. Now all I have to modify is the height, so I'll give it, say, a height of 100. Is that too much? No, I think that's good. Give it some margin on the left, on the right, and also on the top, so -10, why not? And this is where I'm going to write the amount of money we currently have. So let's put that panel, let's give it a name, so currency panel. And we'll quickly do it, so really simple stuff in there. We are going to need two texts. First one that says available gold, and two dots. I will anchor this on the right side. Make sure it stretches on some kind of axis. Actually, you know what? We can make that stretch this way. Or no, let's actually use this one. So stretch on the vertical, but we're constrained on the horizontal axis. So I'm going to put everything on 0. Now give it a width, so maybe about 400 in this case. And I can actually change the text now. Let's do that. I'll anchor it on the right, give it a small margin of 10. bump up the font size. That's the kind of result we get, so that's not too bad. Alright, this one is going to be static, so it doesn't really matter what size we put and like what stuff we do. We can simply move it and it's always going to say the same thing. Now on the right side of this is where it's going to be a little bit different. So I will create another text that I'll put just below, and that's the amount of gold. Same thing, I will make sure it actually stretch on the vertical axis, but the horizontal one is constrained. Put everything on 0, bottom also 0. Anchor it like this. Play with the width, that's the only thing we can really play with, so here we go. And let's give it a fictional amount, so maybe something like 199,543. Something like that. We got some crazy number in the game, so we gotta be aware of that. And I will put a small icon next to it, so right click again, image, anchor it on the very right. Width and height maybe of 50. 50 sounds fair. Move it here, and here we go. That is going to be our gold icon. Okay, so we've got something similar to that. Of course, the art stuff can be done later on. Tower stats menu. We are now here, and we're gonna be filling the content of this, so this section. Okay, so here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to right click, add a new panel. We're going to start with a single panel. This one is going to define the whole section that I'm allowed to use. So I will put it on stretch every axis like it is right now. Give it a margin of 10 here, give it a margin of 10 at the very top, on the right too, and at the bottom. So I've got a margin of 10 pretty much everywhere. Now I will crank up my top until it actually makes sense with the other piece of UI up here, so maybe 115. And now if I resize that tower stats menu, it is always going to follow it. But at the very top, I'm still going to have something that I can work with. Alright, this is the stat container panel. And then again, inside of that, I will create another panel. This is going to be side panel. I know this is messy and complicated, but you'll get why I'm doing this. On the stat container panel, the one just on top of it, I'll put a horizontal layout group so I can have two nice columns like that. And with these two nice columns, I'll leave one of them just sitting there, and I'll start creating my little stat container in a single one of those. So inside of it, again, panel. This is a stat container, pretty much the same exact thing we have in the game scene, but this one is for, well, this very scene. So we've got a stat container here. Now we're gonna make sure that it actually looks good. On the side panel, I will add a vertical layout group and split this by 4. Since we have 8 stats, I am going to do 4 on one side and 4 on the other sides. But you could be doing 5 and then 3. It just doesn't really matter. But I just want to have a look at what this is going to give us in the end. So you're also allowed to play with the height of your tower stats panel. It's going to modify everything. 425. That sounds actually fair to me. Or maybe it's too small. Let's do 500. Or 450. Alright. So inside of a single stat container is where like the real mess begins. So inside of that stat container, I will create a image. The first thing I'll do is an image, anchor it on the right. Position, maybe give it a margin of, let's do 5. Width of 60 by 60, that makes sense. We can actually boost the position. So 10. I will call this stat icon. So that will be the little sword for damage, the little shield for hit point, or I mean defense. We don't have defense. Little heart for hit point, and so on. I will now create another button inside of that very stat container again. We're not leaving that stat container. I'll also delete the text inside of it. So that is the level up button. Anchor it on the right this time. give it a margin of -10, a width of 60, height of 60, and this is going to be the level up button. Fair enough, we can go ahead and create some text now. Text, the width is going to be, say, 100. It's really hard to see, so I pretty much want to cover the whole space in between these two things. So as you can tell, it pretty much does that with the width of 100. I put my text in the center on both axes. I could do best fit, but I feel like not doing it here, so. And this is going to be the level, so maybe bump up the font size to 25, something like that. And I'll put it right about here. So this is the current level. Below this guy, I will duplicate my current level, and I'll just type in that's the gold cost. So it might cost like 54551. And it's money, so it's yellow-ish. Gold. Very well. So we've got this, we've got all that kind of good stuff. I think we're ready to start coding. Okay, so we're gonna do pretty much the exact same thing we have in the game because it's working and we like stuff that works. We don't want to complicate things too much, and I don't want this video to take like 12 hours, so we're gonna do everything super fast, and it's stuff we've already done before, so I might not cover everything. Alright, so over on my stat container, that's the thing that contains pretty much everything. I will hit add component. This is the tower stat container. Oops, tower stat container. Here we go, let's actually boot this up, and we are going to code this super quickly. So let's check, we're gonna need the Unity engine.ui, that is for sure. And I'm just going to put everything on public so we can actually manually assign it. We're gonna need a, well, first a public stat, so public stat, a public text, the level text, public text, gold cost text, and a public text again, which is going to be the panel gold text. That's the one at the very top. I'll explain in a moment why I did that here. Then after that, I'll need an image, the stat icon, and finally a public button, the level up button. All of this is public. You know what? Let's actually assign it really quickly so we don't forget about doing that. Go back in the game. The first stat is going to be, say, the damage. Doesn't really matter. We're going to assign the level text. Level text is the current level field that we've made. So this black text here. Now the gold cost text is pretty much a gold cost just beneath it. The panel gold text is we need to go back at the currency panel inside of our stats menu and the amount of gold. We put it down here, and that's pretty much this thing. Then the stat icon is what we've called stat icon, this thing on the left. And finally the level up button, which is the level up. And we are pretty much ready to go. Cool. Save this. I don't think we need a prefab, we can just leave it there. And we're going to start coding the start. So private void start, what exactly do we need to do? Well, we are going to update all the information because right now it's not set. To update the information, I'll also create a private void update container function. And we're going to need another one as well. Let's do it right away. It's the private void level up. So in the start, we are going to be calling the update container. We're going to be adding the level up function to our onClick event. So level up button, that onClick, add listener, level up this way. And then the panel gold text, we need to update it as well, at least once, but we're going to do it like a few times, 8 times in fact. And I'll explain why I do that in a moment. So currency at int currency.gold toString. So we're getting the current amount of gold we have, and we send it to this guy. So the reason I'm keeping this guy inside of every single one of these containers is because I really did not want to put it inside of the hub manager, because the hub manager, I mean, he already takes care of a lot of stuff, and if I start putting like fields for every single one of our hub object and hub menus, different hub menus, it's just going to get a real mess. And I'd like to actually have everything that is inside of that tower stat panel to be contained within tower stats. I guess I could have changed the way this was made, but this is how I do it now, and I guess it's working. So hey, as long as it's working. So what else? Okay, so we've got all of this. We are calling the update container, which does nothing. We put the level up function, which also does nothing. And we change the text. Let's start by coding the update container. We'll do that quite fast. We're going to start by getting a reference to the level that we're currently at. So the tower.instance tower stats at int stat. Then we'll also know, are we max right now? So bool max level is bigger equal to stats helper instance get stat max level. We send in stat, and this is going to tell us are we maxed or not. Now we're going to assign the interactability is that word? Well, we're going to go on the button, do a dot interactable is equal to not max. So if we are max, this is going to be false, and the button is not going to be able to be clicked. And yeah, self-explanatory. Then after that, we're going to set the level text. Level text dot text is equal to level plus level to string. That is the black text that we've got just above the cost. And now we are going to change the color of that. So level text dot color, depending on if it's max or not. So if it is max, we're going to change the color for, say, color dot green. And if it is not max, let's put it on color dot black, like typical boring color. And it's only going to get interesting if you get to the max level. What else? Oh yeah, we got to be changing the price just beneath it. So let's do a if. No, let's not do a if. Let's do a gold cost text dot text is equal to, and then we're going to check again, are we maxed? If we are maxed, then just say, instead of displaying like a cost, you're going to say max, right? Now, if you're not maxed, that means you need to get the actual text, the gold cost text. So you can find that under stats helper, that instance get price, level, and toString. And hopefully everything will work now. We've got all of that. Level up. Okay, so level up. What exactly did we do here? I am going to fetch the previous level up function we've had. That is under stat container. And I'll just grab the whole thing. So I just grab this, paste it here, and we're going to be just deciding on what we need or not. So we do need the price. This is how we get the price. Yep, that works. We do a check. Is it bigger than the price? That's good also. The game UI, that needs to be gone. It's going to make our game crash. We don't have a game UI in this scene. So let's get rid of that. Update text also does not exist anymore. But we could be doing a update container instead. So update container, that's good. Now if stats, hit point, or range, rescale tower. Yep, let's do that. But let's remove the game UI. Just beneath it. And finally, the else statement, we don't have money if we don't, and that's also okay. So I think that's pretty much all we needed to do in here. Let's give it a try using only this damage stat. So I'm gonna head over to the preloader, press on play, and this is what we get. So I can't click through that. We've got 62 gold right now, and if I click on the level up, we don't have enough money. Fair enough, let's go get that money somehow. Go in the game, start. Do we have anything to sell? Oh, we don't have a lot of things to sell, so let's cheat so we don't spend like hours here. I love cheating. Cheating is great. So now we have all that money. Let's head over to the preloader again, have a look at this game. And it seems to work. Oh, it doesn't seem to work actually. We're not changing the available goal up here. So on the panel gold text, every time we click on the level up, we are going to copy this line over and put it where I just said it was gonna be at, which is here. And there we go. Now we should actually be updating the gold after we buy something. And yep, as you can tell, my gold goes down. I'm level 15 in damage. I've got 42,000 gold left. 42,000 gold and level 15. So the stats do get reproduced or transferred over to game scene as well. Alright, so the only thing we pretty much need to do right now in this video is we head over to the hub again and we just change these things. So under the UI root, we're going to go under the tower stats menu, stat container panel, get rid of everything. Just you need to get rid of all that stuff we've made earlier, and then we're going to be duplicating from this one. This has to be the source of all duplicates. So we'll be putting that, since we've got 8 stats, I'll be putting 4 on the left side and 4 on the other side. So let's duplicate this 3 more times, like this. And we've got the stat container here, the second one. This is going to be, you can put them in any order you want here, it doesn't really matter. So we could say, this is the damage up here, then you've got, like, let's put all the offensive stuff on the left. That sounds great. So damage, speed, critical chances, and then critical damage. Once we've got our first side, we can now duplicate this panel and head over to the other side. So this one is going to be hit point. This is going to be range, hit point, range, region, and finally luck. So hit point, range, region, luck. Does that make sense? Let's put region second, and then range. Luck is last, and we're gonna give it a try. Let's head over to our scene. Here it is. So everything is pretty much on level 1. Let's actually do more hit point, more region. This is range, and this is luck. We head over to game. So hit point is 5, region is 4, luck is 2, that's fine, and the last one was level 3 range. So everything seems to be working fine. Now obviously this is going to be more intuitive whenever we do have icons for our stats. Right now we don't, so that's a little bit annoying. And let's also try the max thing that we've did. So we're gonna be finding something that is max at level 50. So this one is, I think that's the critical chance. Or is it the damage? No, that's the chances. So this is max at level 50. And you know what? I will just be cheating. So find it somewhere. Critical chances is going to be equal to 50. And this doesn't seem to work. Is level 50 our actual max? Is what I'm wondering. Let's quickly have a look. So stats container. At the very top should be my enum. Oh, my stats helper actually. So critical chances. Okay, so chances should be 80 actually. My bad. So let's put that on 80. And it does work. It says level 80, it's max, and I can't click here. Now the colors are obviously in need of work, but guys, we've done it. So we've done our tower stats panel. Next one is going to be the research, and that's where it's going to get a little bit more complicated. And also the share center is going to be complicated as well. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. If you did, please leave me a like. Really appreciate that. If you have any question or comment, you can leave them in the comment section below. Other than that, please subscribe for more tutorials like these. And we're almost done, so don't give up. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.